You can't quit porn if you still hate yourself. If you don't know me, my name is Krishna, and I help young men quit their porn addictions by teaching the lessons that I personally learned throughout my journey. And so 3-4 years ago, when I was still addicted to porn, I was a complete loser in real life, right? I was skinny, I was depressed, I played video games every single day for 14 hours, I watched porn for multiple hours of the day. And it was interesting that the only times I was able to quit porn was when I was giving myself more self-love. And I think that self-love consists of two main components that I'm going to list. But it was only when I loved myself and I got onto self-improvement that it was so much easier for me to quit porn. It was so much easier because of a few things. So I think, in my opinion, that the highest form of self-love is holding yourself to a higher standard than anybody else does. It's you believing in you and you being disciplined for you, right? You believing in you more than anybody else does, and you being disciplined for you, right? It's very interesting. It's like, if, let's say, I would tell you, and this is an extreme example, if your mother is going to die, right? But again, extreme example, but your mother's going to die if you don't start working out. If you work out, you can see your mother again, right? You would do it instantly, like that, right? If somebody close to you is going to vanish if you don't start doing a thing, even if it's hard, even if you don't feel like it, right? Let's say that you're never going to see your mother again. She's going to die unless you work out every single day for 3 months. You are working out every single day for those 3 months. No excuses. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're sick or not. You are doing that, right? Makes sense. We do that for other people. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing that we stay disciplined for other people. It's a good thing that we do hard things for other people. We should. But why don't we do it for ourselves? Why don't we do it for ourselves? Because fundamentally, that scenario that I just listed is highly, highly unlikely. But what is likely is, all right, you're going to die sooner if you don't start working out. And yet, what do? Week by week, month by month, year by year, we're inconsistent because we don't love ourselves. We don't love who we are. And so the thing is that there might be this subtle mindset of like, oh yeah, I need to be more muscular. I need to be more handsome. I need to be richer to be deserving of love or something like that. That belief comes from childhood trauma, right? That belief comes from a messed up childhood where you didn't get the love, the unconditional love that you needed. But the thing is that you are worthy of love, right? All of us, all human beings, we are all worthy of love simply because we exist. And so I think that self-love is something that you can only give yourself, and it's about being disciplined for you. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard than anybody else does. It's about doing the hard things that you know are good for you, that you know you should be doing, but you aren't doing. It's about thinking of your future self. Because when I started to prioritize my future self more, I started to love myself more, right? Because I love the younger version of me more. When the younger version of me, even when he was tired, even when he was facing doubts and fears and whatnot, even when he did go to the gym every single day, regardless of how he felt, I love him for that, right? I really do love him for that. Because that means that now he set me up for me being more healthy, me being more consistent in the future, right? He has done this for me, and I love him for that, right? I think that's what self-love is. It's service for you, for yourself. It's you serving you. And you serving you means that you need to do things that you don't want to do, that are hard, that are uncomfortable, but you do it because you love you. And so I think that's the first thing about self-love, is about discipline. But self-love also means having compassion, right? It means having kindness for you. And I think you need both. You do need both. Because discipline and firmness and high standards without any kindness, that's just tyranny. And kindness without any discipline, without any standards, that's just weak. And so I think it's about the integration of the two, where yes, you do have high standards, you do have discipline, but at the same time, you're also very kind to yourself. You're very compassionate to yourself. Because, one of the things that I used to do when I used to relapse is I always used to beat myself up for it. I always used to be like, why did you do this? You said you were going to quit. You said you were going to do this, but you didn't do it, right? I would say these things to myself, like, you're a loser, you're addicted, etc. But the thing is that relapsing is part of quitting porn. It's part of it. It's a feature, not a bug. You can't quit without failing a few times, right? Failure is a prerequisite to actually succeeding. It's a prerequisite to actually getting the thing that you want. And I've relapsed hundreds of times before I saw any real progress. Hundreds of times, right? There were times where I would relapse every single day. I would relapse multiple times a day. It's just part of the process, and you need to be aware of that. And I think that giving yourself just a little bit of grace, just a little bit of kindness, will go a long way. Because right now, if you talk to yourself how you would talk to a friend, for example, they wouldn't be your friend. I'm going to be completely honest with you. They wouldn't be your friend, right? Because you talk to yourself like an abusive father would talk to his son, right? You beat yourself up, you berate yourself, you drag yourself down with your self-talk, right? So your actionable step for you for this video is to practice just a little bit of kindness and a little bit of compassion the next time you relapse. Instead of saying, why did I do this? I suck, you did this, etc. Why don't you just say, it's all part of the process, my friend. Just keep going. Right? Think about if a friend said that to you. If a friend, you've been failing for a while, you feel bad about yourself. Think about if a friend said to you, it's all right, it's all part of the process. And I'm proud of you for trying, but you just have to keep going. Think about how nice you would feel. You would hug that friend, bro. Of course you would hug that friend for saying that. Why don't you give that to yourself? Why don't you say to yourself every time you fail, it's all part of the process. Just keep going, right? Don't berate yourself. Don't give yourself negative self-talk. Acknowledge that it all happened, and then encourage yourself to go in the right direction, right? Talk to yourself like you would talk to a best friend. How would you talk to your best friend if he failed multiple times on something that's meaningful to him? If he had an addiction and he keeps relapsing, how would you talk to him? Would you say, oh yeah, you suck, you're a terrible person, you're a loser, right? You wouldn't tell him that. If he's your best friend, you would be kind to him. You'd be kind but firm, right? You would be kind. You would say, I understand that it's hard. And you'd be firm and saying, but you need to keep going. You need to keep doing the hard things, right? And so it's that union of the two. It's the kindness and the firmness that I think consists of real self-love. And you can't quit porn if you hate who you are. Because self-hatred is not going to do anything. So all self-hatred is going to do is it's going to pull you into a deeper and deeper hole. Because when you have those negative thoughts, you don't like them. And so, again, to escape those negative thoughts, you turn to porn because it's the only thing you know. It's the only thing that you know how to use to cope. If you found this video was helpful for you and you want to go more in depth into the actual step-by-step system that you can use to quit porn, I have a program. It consists of 5 main phases, 5 things that you can do step by step in order to quit porn and become the person that you want to be. And so if you're interested in that, then you can go and you can click the link in the description down below. Take care, bro.